Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
And I'm Technical Difficulties Panda.
And welcome back to Anime Talk for Summer 2024, where we are in week 12.
Yes, week 12.
And that's
unfortunately, we've already recorded a lot for week 12. We watched the entire episode of Shikanoko, and I gave my manga reviews and everything. And I made all of these wonderful dad jokes, but I guess the universe wanted to punish me for that. And so my recording software decided, nope, I'm deleting all of your audio, Panda.
So we have a bit of a smaller episode because this is take 2. Our apologies.
Yeah, we made it all the way through Shikanoko. I just want to give my final thoughts on this one, and I'll probably get my manga stuff next week just to catch up, because that's probably going to be the final week, right?
I think at least of the season.
Right.
You'd have to tell me you're the one with the schedules and shit.
I have the schedules of power. All right, these are just going to be my final thoughts on this, since we don't want to go through the entire episode again.
And let's be honest, a lot of our thoughts are almost redundant in a way, because I don't think the show's done anything to change our feelings in 12 episodes.
You know, I feel bad because we did have some good dialogue in there that was probably worth saving, but the universe has just disappeared into the ether. But my thoughts on Shikanoko are, I feel like this movie feels very much like Zoolander to me. And this is a movie I did not enjoy. I unfortunately ended up making all my friends watch it in the movie theater, because we did that. We watched it in the movie theater when it came out. Now, the reasons I did that is because I thought it was a superhero movie from the trailer, and I was deceived. And it turns out it was a comedy, but there's only like 2 funny jokes in it.
Pretty much. Between the gas fight scene and the Education Center for Ants joke, that's about it.
And the rest of the runtime is just a boringly unfunny schlock movie. So that's how I feel about Nokatan. What about you?
I mean, it's okay. We going back to episode 1. It felt like, oh my god, this absurdism is kind of putting me in the minds of like, oh my god, Excel Saga. It's like, this thing's going to be absurd, off the rails. This chick who's a quote somehow also a deer just because she has antlers. People, look at her in a certain way, but no one thinks it's weird to have a deer girl there. And this is some absurdism going to go off the rails. It's going to be funny. And then it just never is. Or not never. I mean, there's always like every once in a while, it's like they get a joke in there that's funny. Every once in a while, they get a segment that gets us to laugh. Like with the hunter guy from the last episode. Or the episode that proved that this show shouldn't even been a full-length show. The one that was just a bunch of vignettes.
Very true.
This show worked better as like 1-minute vignettes. This show should have been like, there's like some shows out there that are only like 5, 10, 11-minute like mini episodes, and there's like 2 or 3 of them in an episode. That's what this should have been. It should have been punchy jokes to the point and then move on. But instead it hovers, it hangs on this one thing, because I guess the writer thinks that they're fucking hilarious. It's like, no, we need to draw this out. Bashime eating rice in the corner there? That's fucking hilarious. That needs to be shown. We can't just breeze past that.
Could you imagine a stand-up sketch where Chris Rock was just like talking about somebody eating rice and like thinking that was funny? No. He never would have had a career.
And I still think that my Sonic the Hedgehog analogy was apt. They had Nokatan, they had Koshitan, funny. They added Anko, okay, still funny. They added Bashime, okay, now you're not funny anymore. They added the Student Council, okay, there's like one of you that I enjoy watching, and that's the one who's always like doom and gloom. The rest of you, I don't know why you're here. The more characters they added, then the brother of the one council member who's like a barista, and then he's also in the sports thing, and then he's the announcer for this episode. There's so many recurring characters. The old grandma that keeps coming back. It's like they keep bringing these characters, but they fail to bring anything. So
what you're saying is that you have been properly mind broken.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to be this mean. I really don't, but this gets like a 3 out of 10 from me. It really does.
I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10. It's very mid.
Yeah, I think it's lower than mid, personally.
See, my rating scale, though, if I put a 3 out of 10, that would mean that it is so bad that it's good. So I can't possibly give it that.
I see, okay. Yeah. 5, we'll go with a 5. I'll concede. 5 out of 10 then. We'll go with that. Just because I kind of feel bad about being so mean to it.
There you have it.
So yeah, she truly is a vermin, as the subtitles show up there. And I'm just kind of glad it's over, if I'm being honest.
This is what freedom feels like.
Ow. And with that, unless you got any final thoughts, it's time to move on over to our next episode.
All right, let's move on over to our next episode then.
So now we know what was written on the blackboard. The cliffhanger has been hanged. Or cliffed. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that was a really cheap cliffhanger. It made people think that something really, really, really bad was happening. When, in fact, she's just very bad at her studies.
I mean, when even your teacher puts the little angry X, like little throbbing, head vein X in their text, you done fucked up.
That's true. I didn't even notice that. Good catch.
Yay! I did good for once. See, I get what the principal's saying here. I really do. Because let's be honest. People talk about like, oh, the innocence of children. Oh, children are just so honest and innocent and shit. Like, the worst human beings are, by and large, children. Especially teenagers. Especially those in school. I mean, seriously. It's like, when people are like, but think of the children. What about them? They're worse than just because they haven't done it in front of you. But yeah, it really is a problem with high school. It's like one of the worst places. Like one of the worst places to like come out about your passions.
Yeah, you really can't expect high school kids or elementary school kids or whatever to be understanding.
No. Yeah,
this guy knows what he's talking about. Listen to him.
I mean, we talk about the teacher and stuff like that, how she has to hide her, her previous past with cosplaying because, hey, it could affect her job because she wasn't just cosplaying. She was, erotically cosplaying. And it's like, that could affect her, we've not to sound like broken record here, but, it's like, that just talking about real life things. It's like, oh, this teacher used to be in porn like 12 years ago. Well, no teaching career for her. It's like, so I think it's, it's like something that could ruin your prospects for the future, but going through school, like being consistently bullied, harassed, or even, teenagers with hormones constantly, looking at you that way, especially with like the way she's cosplaying specifically. I mean, that could leave permanent scars.
Very, very true. Like the first thing they said in this episode, or the dudes were just like, man, her tits are fucking huge. You can't expect a teenage boy to say anything but that.
True.
You would be expecting way too much.
And it's, damn. It's one of those things, man. If you're listening to this and you're in high school now, understand life gets better.
First, you
okay?
should be listening to this. You should not be listening to this. You should be in school and staying cool or something like that.
But if you are, understand this. I'm an adult. You know, I'm a middle-aged adult. And I thank God every day of my life that I'm not in high school anymore.
Very true. Very true.
So, as low as your lows are now, just wait till you get out of high school, okay? Just wait. Just wait. You know, the people tormenting you won't be there anymore to torment you.
You know, like the thoughts that some people have if they could go like back in time and fix something. Like a lot of people have that idea, but would you really want to go back to your teenage years and live through that stuff again? I'm going to say no. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't do it.
Hey, what if you do still have all your knowledge? Then you could test out of high school.
Okay, so maybe you have all of your knowledge, but part of your psychological makeup is your hormones,
True.
is your age bracket, and that's going to affect your mental thinking. As much as we all want to, say we're all free thinkers and whatever, there are times when hormones and adrenaline and what have you could get the better of you. Testosterone for boys, it could just cause them raging issues. Like I watched my nephew's football team, and they kept before he went off to university, but they kept drawing penalties because of that. Like they would do a play or whatever, and one of them would just absolutely lose their shit. And so the referee would be like 5-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty. And that's the reason they kept losing games, is because they could not control themselves. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it, because your body and your mind are still developing at that point, and I don't think that you're going to be able to go back in time and have full prescience or whatever, full control over who you are, because who you are as a teenager is who you are at that point, and you really don't have much control over that. Like we have like lots of data on this, so there are drop offs at like 25, and then more drop offs at 35. So no, I would definitely not do that. Teenage boys bad, teenage girls also bad.
Yes, because it's not just your students. Hey, we were just talking about that.
We were just talking about this too.
It's almost like we can see into the future, so we shouldn't go back. We should go forward.
Yeah, don't go back in time and try to change things. Like I feel like movies like Back to the Future, where they just give zero fucks about any of that.
Hey, Back to the Future taught us that if you go back in time and save your parents' marriage, you'll go back to your present and you'll have a better house, a better life, and you'll be rich. You even have a truck. And
maybe like Quantum Leap as well, but I don't think if it was really possible to do that it's a good idea, because you're not just changing yourself, you could be changing someone else. You could be changing other people. You don't know what you're going to be changing. So,
yeah. Plus the paradox of if you go back and change that thing, then therefore you never had to go back and change that thing. So therefore, boof.
Is that really a paradox, though?
Yes, I think. Now you maybe question it, maybe not. Fuck you.
The eternal question by every anime watcher, right here.
Pretty much.
What does he mean by that? I can't help myself when I see that, because I just asked that like I'm doing that Xenosaga playthrough right now, and I'm just like, yeah, what did they mean by that? Because they just keep making references back to Xenogears, and I'm like, well, what did they mean by this? When it's just so obvious.
Okay, he was talking about I feel like I want to say this. I don't know if I'm wrong about this or not. But I wanted to say this regardless. he's talking about like, not all experience, it's like not all, mistakes, the experience you gain from those mistakes are worth it. Well, here's the thing. It may not be worth it for you. Is it not valuable in a way? Maybe not for himself, but the fact, yes, he will always live with the regret of whatever his mistake was, right? But the fact that he can then pass on that knowledge to someone else so they don't make that mistake because he has that experience. Isn't that still a valuable experience?
Well, I don't know if I necessarily agree with you. Like, we have all these adages and stuff. Like, obviously people have gone through things and they've tried to warn people, this isn't worth it. Like, we have adages like, if everybody's going to jump off of a bridge, would you too?
Yeah.
And then you realize that you tell this to somebody and they just don't fucking listen to you because they think they know better or whatever. And they've got their mindset on it or something, and you can't change their mind. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because yes, you have that experience and you can tell people and preach it, but they've also got that other saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So
true. But I don't know. So, I guess this part of it to me almost sounds a little. I don't know. Like I said, it could be. I might be missing the severity of whatever it is that happened to him. He's not said it yet, or if he's going to, I don't know. But it's just, there has to have been somebody who did the thing and found out, oh, this was bad. Yes, not everyone's going to listen to it, but it could inform some people. Some people could now be spared that, because it's like, oh shit, that's what happened. That's why this man has less hair than Featherhoof. Shit. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, how many things do we have out there that show what smoking does to you? How many? It's like, it's not like it's not a known quantity, but people still do it. People still pick up the habit brand new, even with that knowledge in hand. So, I mean, I don't know.
Alternatively, this guy just wants to pull a Mace Windu or Gandalf, and he wants to defeat the final boss that he was fighting, whatever. Maybe this guy got isekai'd earlier in life, and he just wants to go back, defeat this boss, get himself out of the picture for whatever reason, and get all the XP for himself.
Oh. It's so devious, it could be true. Ah, shit, it's spreading. Cosplay's like a disease.
What?
She did research on cosplay, and now she's interested in cosplay. The shit's spreading.
I'm interested too. So
yeah, I can't deny
theory. I have a theory since I've read the manga, and I'm looking at the pacing of where this show is going. We might get to see her in cosplay.
Ooh.
Might. I don't know, though.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Okay. Damn! Are you kidding me? Is she lactating right now? From joy?
Well, no. They just... That's just a way they say that in Japanese.
Are you... Really?
Kind of like how some people will try to be cutesy and say tiggle bitties.
Oh, okay. I get it. Still, that's my first time seeing it referred as such an... It took me by... I got taken aback a little there.
Yeah, so it's like Monyu means milky, so that's somewhat of the way they do it. So they refer to it sometimes. It's like literally what he's saying.
Okay, so this isn't just a artistic license by the translator here.
No, there's no artistic license.
Oh boy. Okay.
I don't know who Joe is, but they're clear. Lussalot's supposed to be a reference to oh crap, what's her name? Morgan from Darkstalkers. But I noticed something here when I was looking at it. Do you see what I see?
Let's see. Looking around. No.
Okay, so it looks like they put a CRT filter over this.
Oh, that. Now I can't unsee it, and I hate it.
Why do you hate it, man? This is great.
CRT filters, not only are they ugly as sin, but I've had issues with some games where putting any of those damn filters causes input lag, and I hate them.
All right, so I was actually playing around with the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters over the last week because I'm maybe planning on running through them again with a modded playthrough, and I did put a program on there that has a CRT filter because the Pixel remasters have this CRT-ish filter, but it's really, really bad.
The scan line filters are ugh.
And it doesn't actually turn it into dots. It just puts like lines over it.
Yep.
So I went and got this other program that turns it into dots, and it looks fantastic. So it does what the CRT is supposed to do. It's blending the colors and everything, and making the gradients look better. I don't know. Do you still play retro games? You play them on the LCD, and they look fucking terrible.
Here's the thing. I do play retro games. Like, hey, I just got that Marvel vs. Capcom collection. And instantly, they come with those scan lines and CRT filters on by default. I turn that shit off. I would rather see like the upscaled pixels than those scan lines. Those scan lines, they just make my eyes hurt.
Have you ever seen like the difference between the raw pixels and the actual CRT?
I don't know how you mean.
Let me see if I can find one. All right, so if you look at like the CRT, the difference between the LCD and CRT is that it blends it and it makes it look a little bit more natural, and the pixels are just bleh.
I'll be honest, dude. Here's the thing. Yes, you are correct. It does blend it. The blending looks better. And without it, it's just you see every individual pixel. I get that. But when I look at the CRT filter, it literally it hurts my eyes. I can't stare at it. It's awful.
Bro, you used to game on these every fucking day, so
yes,
I know you're full of shit.
But now I am a middle-aged elderly person.
He's a middle-aged elderly person. He can't do it.
I have glasses that are literal Coke bottles.
I have just the picture for you there that addresses, being an old person. So I'm sorry, I have to send this to you. It's very important. You have to know this.
Hey, I shower. Thank you very much.
But do you agree? Do you agree with the message?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, but I'm just going to say this. I don't think that they should have done this because this is a 720p anime and it's not actually a CRT, but this kind of gives us an idea of when this is taking place because it's like post 2006 is when LCDs and the whole
we already know what's taking place. Because in one of the previous episodes, they were like, "Oh, we're at such and such con 2019 or something like that, or 20."
Total bullshit. If this is a CRT filtered game that she's playing, it's total bullshit, man.
Dude, 2019. No. Dude, he keeps all of the retro stuff. So that, I think didn't they prove it earlier that he keeps like retro players and retro screens and stuff like that to play like his old VHSs and stuff on.
He is very dedicated to this.
Yeah. He's one of those guys who's like, no, I don't play my retro games on an LCD. I only play it on a CRT monitor. Or CRT
As you should.
Screen.
You know what? I actually played, because when I lived with my older sister and my mom back in like 2005 to 2007-ish, That's how I played. I had I played on my older sister's TV because it was sometimes difficult to get on computers because some people are like really, I have to be on the computer all the time, all blah, 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 blah. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But she had a Sony Vega, and the power button was kind of broken, so it was weird to turn it on. And I was playing on that with the S Video, so it did have component on it, by the way, but I didn't have component cables. But the best thing about that is that she also had a stereo speaker system. And what I did is that I did not plug in the audio cables into the TV. I took the optical audio out and put that into the PS2 because that's the only console I owned at the time was a PS2. So I put that in there, and I had these great stereo speakers that gave all the great bass and everything. But I could never turn these speakers over a quarter of their volume because they would get loud, like really fucking loud. But it was an amazing experience. Wish I could still do that, but don't have that anymore. That TV exploded, by the way.
As for
just to break all the hearts of the retro gamers. Because I know that's a highly sought after TV these days.
As for the character of Joe there, the only character I could think of who he could possibly be spoofing is Joe Higashi from Fatal Fury. But like old. Like if he was an older character. Because he's got the wraps on his hands, he's got the no shirtness. Like if he like instead of having the headband to keep his hair up, he like dropped the headband around his neck and now his hair just fell down. He's old.
I wonder if it's even the same character in the manga. I'm too lazy to look that up right now, but I thought it was the funniest thing. I don't remember which game it is, but when you told me about the one guy having I don't know if he was the main bad guy, but his name being Soul Bad Guy, I thought that was the most hilarious fucking thing you ever told me.
No, that's the protagonist of Guilty Gear is Soul Bad Guy.
He's the protagonist.
Yes,
that's like the most
villain. Well, the villain. I think I know the talk we were having about because I believe. Hold on, I'm doing a little fact check on myself. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The one of the villains of that series, his name is That a Man.
That's a man. That is the most Japanese dude. I thought this sounded very cool thing to name their protagonist. Soul Bad Guy. Okay.
Yes. He's the Ryu to Street Fighter of that series.
All I have to say is read the manga for this part.
Wow. Oh my god. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it does.
That's all I have to add there. Also, Mikari's cute.
Sure. I know it's probably some kind of fabric or whatever, but my brain immediately was, she says, I'm using stretch PVC. I'm like, the pipes? That's some stretchy pipes. I didn't know you could stretch them.
My brain is dead.
Yay! And we just revived it after that horrible experience of Shikanoko. And I got to kill it again. Ouch! What? What do you mean? What's that? They don't know what instant messenger is? Well, I guess they call them DMs now, don't they?
Old man.
Fuck you!
Stop old person smell.
Fuck you! I'll smell all I want. There we go. Smell that, bitch.
Okay, I do have a story about that, though.
About IMs or old smell?
Old person smell.
Oh, God.
When I was a kid, I don't know, like 8 or 9 or maybe 6 or 7, sometimes my mom would let this older lady watch me, and she had the most horrific old person smell ever. And it just was all over her apartment, and you couldn't get away from it. So, yeah, I mean that when we need to stop old person smell. We need to stop it. We need a solution right now.
Well, we have a solution. It's called, body wash.
You know what? I had this whole talk about not going back in time, but if I could go back in time, I would go on a mission to stop old person smell. That would be my mission.
But then,
Zero regrets with this one.
How would we know in the future that we needed to stop body smell if we didn't know old person smell if we didn't know what old person smell was? So therefore, you never could have gone back in time to stop old person smell.
You do not want to know.
Well, how will we know that we don't want to know?
You just don't want to know. I feel terrible for him because, I do have manga that do have the materials in them. So, yeah. Featherhoof has been asking an important question. What is that question?
Why does he have to throw them out? Why doesn't he just take them home?
Yeah, why doesn't he just take them home and not shred them? I don't know why they didn't say that, but he actually shredded them and turned them. Yes, he put them in the paper shredder and shredded them.
Well, see, I'm looking at it. Okay, and maybe this is just me being old man, but I'm looking at it from a cost perspective. He bought all of that with his money.
Well, he wasn't the one who bought all of them. His senpais also bought them as well before they left the club.
Oh, okay. But still, somebody paid for them.
Yeah, I feel like we need that Obi-Wan Kenobi scene after Alderaan got blown up. There was a terrible loss. Billions of people cried out. Blah, blah, blah. There are still good manga or whatever out there that have nudity in them, so don't worry about it too much. Maybe he shouldn't have had them at school, but
yeah,
fucking take them home, dude.
Donate them. There are otaku out there, poor otaku, who can't afford to buy their own porn.
Yeah, this is very true.
What a selfish individual. And the teacher keeps calling him mature. Pah!
I just feel bad because these were all books that were shredded and I guess burnt. You know my feelings on this. The only book that needs to be shredded or burnt is the Silmarillion.
It scarred him that bad, folks.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Angry person is angry.
Is she?
Well, she's got the thing going on, and the gritted teeth, and the angry eyebrows. That you could almost see they're right at their angry eyebrows.
Okay. All right, so this is actually where the best character writing and stuff actually starts in this show. I guess you could argue the previous arc with Nagomi and Lilisa and everybody, where the manga, anime, blah blah blah, same thing, found its footing, but it's just going to get better and better from here on out.
Okay, all right. I mean, as for this episode, I mean, I did like the opening part of it where they're talking. They kind of get deep into the idea of whether this should come public or not with the whole school, the cosplaying thing and whatnot, and the pros, cons, and the discussion they had about that.
Mm-hmm.
But then the rest of the episode, I don't know, it fell flat for me. It was just like, oh, I'm going to teach her how to take measurements, and and then this is how cosplaying was back then versus now, and I don't know. I was just sort of like, oh, okay. With the exception of the Milky Bits comment that keep coming up, I'm just like, whoa. The rest of it, like the comments with the Milky Bits line is like shook me out of my stupor. Like, whoa, Jesus, what? The rest of it was just sort of felt like it plodded along.
I guess I made that rant earlier, but you do have to read the manga to truly appreciate the Milky Bits part.
Again, I'm not calling it out. I'm not like saying it's bad or anything. It just took me by surprise to the point where it shook me out of my sort of stupor.
Okay, I'll accept it.
See, I mean, for I think as lackluster as this episode is for me, it hasn't decreased my interest in going forward with it. I want to know who this is. I want to know why they're, I don't know about anger, but at least very moved emotionally in some fashion by seeing this picture of Lilio cosplay.
Okay, maybe next week.
We'll see. I disagree. We already started off with a controversial statement. Because a rolling suitcase is everyone's best friend.
I have several of these and I just don't get it. I really don't get it, man. Like, it's a suitcase with wheels. So yeah. I guess if you're weak.
Thank you, yes.
Sure. It's okay. But I don't get it.
But how much do you take on vacation with you? Because it's like there is a point in which it's like, you're gonna bring enough stuff. It's just too damn heavy. You got to have it on the rollies.
I think it's funny that you think I go on vacations.
Then why do you have many of those?
I don't know. They just appear and propagate, and I don't know. You probably have something that you have no idea how you keep getting them as well. So. They just come out of the ether. They just poof into existence.
I hereby, invalidate your argument and say that you are wrong. Therefore, I win.
It's just like that one coat I have that all the professors wear. The khaki kind of coat or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know where the hell I got that. It just appeared out of nowhere one day.
Lies.
But I did like wearing it. I just don't know where the hell it is now. I guess it de-poofed out of existence.
All that build up for... I don't know where the fuck it is.
I don't. It's kind of like all the board game pieces. Where do those go? Where do some people put socks in the dryer and then they disappear. Where do those go? I mean, I've never had that happen to me. It's just suitcases and coats. Where the fuck do they come from?
Too late.
Do you put much thought into this, or are you just like women look great in anything they wear?
What do you mean?
Like, she's agonizing over what to wear to get his attention or whatever. As a guy, do you put much attention into that? Do you go, oh my god, the hem was like 3 inches off or something, or blah 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 blah? Or are you just like, you know what, she looks really good in that?
Look, I'm a I am a married guy. I know the answer, and it's always, you look good in that. Always.
Okay, maybe that was an unfair question, is Featherhoof does not like Sudoku, but guys don't put much thought into that. You're going to look great in anything. Don't stress over it, Kana.
Well, especially seeing as I don't think he's really staring at her in any interesting way, so...
That may be true as well.
Too bad she don't notice that yet.
I don't know where that term came from.
Which term?
And yes, I do have the dad sneakers, but they are the most comfortable fucking sneakers I have ever worn in my life. And yes, they are loud as fuck. I also have a normal pair of shoes, and they're the same brand, but they're not quite as comfortable. But the dad sneakers, man, they're very, very good. My feet love them. Best shoes ever. And I've also had them for 5 years, and it's like the best shoes I've ever had in my entire life. So, yeah, dad sneakers okay.
Well, what do you mean that they're loud as fuck?
You know, when somebody says that your outfit is loud, they just means it's overly colorful and
Oh, I see. Okay.
that's what the dad sneakers are. They're like supposed to be the most comfortable sneakers. These aren't actually dad sneakers, so whatever. You know what? I do have. I can't remember what brand it is, but those one types of shoes, I just can't stand looking at them. And no, it's not Crocs. Everybody hates Crocs, so
I don't hate them.
Well, you're wrong then.
I actually don't know anyone who has any, so I've never actually seen one in real life, so...
You have never seen people wear Crocs? I go to the fucking grocery store all the time and people were wearing Crocs, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Why are you going to the grocery store and staring down at people's feet your entire time you're there?
I'm not staring at their feet the entire time I'm there. I don't know. It's just a habit I picked up. What was that movie in... It has Keanu Reeves and I think like Al Pacino in it from Devil's the 90s. Advocate? Is it The Devil's Advocate? Okay, there's a scene in that movie. There's a scene in that movie where he's talking about people's shoes, and like if you want to get a good gauge of people, just look at their shoes. And so I don't know. I've just had a habit of that ever since I saw that scene. Maybe it's a bad habit, but I just have that habit.
It's a weird one.
That's an onion. I don't care what you say. That is the shape of an onion. How do you feel about that?
Well, I can definitely see the layers. So Shrek was right.
I was about to say that. Does this look like an ogre to you? You know, I wish we were watching like Shrek 95,000 over Shikanoko or whatever number Shrek they are on right now.
What if Aqua, what if Aqua was like, oh wait, hold on. He reaches over and he's like, you got it upside down and flips it over. Just spins the cup around. Oh no, wait. Sorry, it was an onion.
It was supposed to be an onion. This is really supposed to make you cry. Well, somebody's dying here.
A little bit. Damn it. I love how she says that like it's a bad thing.
You know, the only thing I could think of whenever I see this is Kazuma from Konosuba. Because he goes on these rants about true gender equality. And as we all know, Kazuma is just an asshole. So he just ends up, looking even like a bigger asshole when he goes on about that. But that's the only thing I can think about whenever somebody says that.
I love that she's getting all pissed about it. I mean, I get what's going on here and everything like that. But, with her thing of like having the hots for Aqua and stuff like that. I mean, for God's sakes, this is what happens when, my wife and I go on vacations and stuff like that where we have a suitcase. I take her bag and I put it on top of the suitcase, the rolly suitcase, so she doesn't have to throw out her shoulder or something by carrying it all day. Why is she treating this like a bad thing?
'Cause let's just go back to Kazuma. What is his class? Thief. Correct.
Oh, right.
He just mugged her. He used the steal command.
Oh. So, wait. So does that mean he used a deception check when he talked her into giving him her bag?
Yeah, precisely.
Oh.
And then immediately after this, he tells her to pipe down. So he's using the true gender equality. He's learned what Kazuma has taught him. So yeah.
I'm learning so much today. Look, we know you. We've all look. If even someone as dense as me who hasn't watched the first season, I noticed that you do.
I was just going to be terrible, but Did you notice that her scarf is making a certain shape right here?
Oh, dear God. Of course. Damn it.
I just had to be terrible, and this is all because of Kazuma.
I agree.
It's even worse in this frame. Shit.
Where's the rest of the meal?
Look, she just wanted meat. That's all she wanted. So they went out and they got meat.
And I do appreciate that. I loves me some meat too. But I mean, let's look at that. And you know that course probably cost like $70 just for those little slabs of meat.
But well worth it. Also,
How
why
is
are you
that
complaining?
well worth it?
Why are you complaining? You hate things like I don't know, bell peppers,
I see no bell peppers.
broccoli.
Don't I see no broccoli?
I don't know what else. You hate everything that's a vegetable, right?
No, I like the green beans.
So we need green beans with this meal.
Green beans, some rice, maybe some mashed potatoes.
Some rice. So what you're saying is that you want Bashame at the other side of the table with you.
No! Well, actually. And then she would take the rice and I would get all the meat. Your mind is very devious and I like it.
This is why I went to evil physics school. Not just normal physics school. I went to evil physics school.
See, those are, 6 words I love seeing next to each other. All you can eat Brazilian barbecue. Yes! Let's go! Fuck this place that they're currently at. Let's go there.
Yeah. I want to go there. This looks amazing. All you can eat?
I need somebody who's been to Japan to tell me if that place exists and where I can go, on the off chance I ever get to visit.
Okay, so maybe I was wrong in the previous episode of 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. There is one thing you gain out of your teenage body, and that is the ability to just fucking eat everything in sight. So
gorge.
So I cannot do this at my current age, but
it won't stop me from trying.
Yeah, it won't stop me from trying, but I know there's a limit. And that's when my body's like, no, you need to stop. But as a teenager, there is a bag of holding inside of your stomach that will just allow you to have limitless amounts of food. So, that is one good point about the teenage body. I think they bring this up in this show too. So, now that I'm remembering that, yeah, I need to go back in time so that I can become a teenager, and that then I could go to the all-you-can-eat Brazilian barbecue and just lay waste to the place.
Make them regret putting all-you-can-eat on the sign.
Yes. First off, apply the CRT filter.
And then immediately take it off.
No, leave it on. Leave it on. All right, I'm
also,
done.
Why does it look like she already put a filter on? What's with the glitter?
I guess this is the glitter filter.
This is true. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can speak for all guys, but I'm going to speak for myself. And then speak for all guys. But we don't like it to glitter. We don't.
Featherhoof does not like glitter.
We don't want it. We don't need it on your face. You don't need it on you, and it just makes the makeout session you're looking for very uncomfortable.
So, Featherhoof, do we know the nationality of the translator?
Do we?
Yes, they're American.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, but they are definitely American. I will leave it to the audience to figure out how I've come to this conclusion, though.
Please put it in the comments so that I will know eventually, too. So you're saying he has an OnlyFans account?
Does he? Oh, man.
Hey, what? He has work online, on the sly, to cover, what was the 5 million yen?
How much is that, like $50,000? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
They can think of how many computers you could get with $50,000.
Let's see. $50,000.
You know how ridiculous my computer would be if I had $50,000 to spend on it?
Yeah. I started thinking, I'm like, well, I could get, and then I was like, wait, no, then I would add, and then I would add, and then I would add. So yeah, it's just like, well, maybe not as many as I thought, but still quite more than I could now.
Holy crap! It would have like all the best hardware and I don't know, 8K monitors and just stuff like that. It's like,
RGB.
holy shit! No RGB.
RGB.
How much extra performance can you squeeze out of that RGB?
I would pay a man with my extra 50,000 to break into your house while you were gone and add RGB to your PC.
I'm under threat from Heather of adding RGB to my computer. Okay. I have to protect it. It's my precious. He wants to put RGB in it. Help me. Help me stay safe from the RGB.
RGB will keep you safe.
I don't have anything to say about what he's saying. I just want to put this in here before they get out of this scene. Bridges are important.
That was the bad man, wasn't it?
That was the bad man. I mean, he has everything that speaks out bad man. Only, he's not wearing a pink shirt that says bad man on the backside of it. So, maybe not? I don't know.
Well, let's see. He's got the long coat that is always flapping in the wind. He's carrying flowers. Only evil people do that. That hat screams evil. Look at that.
Yeah, the bad man, as you would call him. I would posit
that's just awful.
I would posit that this guy is a better candidate for the name Soul Bad Guy than the protagonist of what's the game? Guilty Gear? Yeah. You cannot name the good guy protagonist Soul Bad Guy. It's just not a good idea.
And yet they did, and it was highly successful.
Highly successful, I guess. Yeah, so I guess we're not going to get to see what I was predicting about his eyes being green. So I'm not surprised. They don't show his eyes in the manga, and I pretty much reasoned out why they don't show his eyes.
Would it be like a giveaway sort of thing if they did, or what?
So I'm just gonna say, have you noticed the color of their eyes? How they're either white or black?
Yeah.
The reason they didn't show his eyes here is because they're white, and so people would not associate that with the bad guy, because they'd be like, oh, the bad guy has to have the scary eyes, right? He has to have the black ones. But no, they're clearly white here, and they just put sunglasses on him to cover it up. So, but I could guarantee that they're supposed to be white here. And I'm going out on a limb here because I don't think we're going to see it in this season. Obviously, we're not going to see it because this is the only scene with him in it that's going to be in this season. Just to disappoint people.
I am the disappointed.
Featherhoof is disappointed. He needs to put the Kevin Sorbo gif in here. Or I don't know if he has a full video of it, but he's very disappointed. I will posit that, you know how Aqua has the blue eyes and Ruby has red eyes. Did they give, what's her name, Akane yellow eyes? Yeah. He's got green eyes. I'm just going to say that because of color theory.
Oh, I see. I think I see where where you're going with that.
Yeah. So that's my entire headcanon based off of color theory. So that's where I'm going with it. Green eyes, white blonde dude, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to make a pun off of the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, I was just about to do the same thing. Damn it, the green eyes blue dragon. What?
Yeah. What is the I don't even know what the dragon's called now. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Okay.
Yeah, or the what was it, the Red Eyes Black Dragon or whatever it was.
Also, he is voiced by the same guy that does the manager for the guys in Zombieland Saga. So,
we get to hear it. Will he say it?
What?
Ohayou gozaimasu. Will he scream it for us?
No, this is the only scene with him, so you're not gonna.
He will not.
It's the same actor.
Me.
He's not gonna.
Yeah, I just turned it into a verb too.
Don't give it away, Featherhoof.
What?
You're spoiling them. Everybody. Don't listen to Featherhoof.
What'd I do?
You did a bad.
Damn it. I hate when I do bads without meaning to. Well, I will say, and, you know, I know, I think Panda's getting annoyed with me because I'm quite the chatterbox because I'm like, wait, what does that mean? And I don't understand that. Is that, you know, it's like I'm asking questions. This show definitely still has my interest. It's like, I want to see what happens. I want to, like, move me forward. I want to, you know, I want to know answers. You know, you've got me hooked. So this show is not dwindling in any way, shape, or form. You know, I'm still highly excited to see more of this.
Featherhoof wants to see more.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we've defeated another week of anime. We've definitely defeated the thing we like the least, so that's gone. We will never have to see it again. And if there's a season 2 of it, what is your consensus on wanting to watch that?
No.
You've heard it right here, folks. Featherhoof said no, and I agree with him.
And with that, week 12's over, y'all. One show in the bucket where it belongs, and 2 more continuing on as they should.
You're rather generous of putting it in a bucket. I would have incinerated it in a dumpster fire. So
no, because then it would be gone. It needs to feel the harm it caused, and be humiliated at the same time, because now it lives in that bucket.
Is he not generous?
Am I not merciful?